So introducing myself, my name is Nadayogi. So that last name Nadayogi came like it's an initiated name. Nadayogi is an initiated name. I was initiated into Nadayoga by my guru Niti Chaitanyati. I think last time also I mentioned the story, but I would like to repeat if anyone is new who were not there in the last meeting. Am I audible enough? If I'm audible enough, you can just show me your hand. Yes. Okay, good. So, Guru Nitya Chaitanya is from Kerala. I'm also from Kerala, the same state, the southern part of India. And I was so much interested in all the spiritual learnings or scriptures, the yogic techniques, meditation, all those things. And I had been reading and meeting many gurus, learning from different masters. And finally, I happened to meet Guru Nitya Chaitanya, whom I felt like, and I have found my guru. So I could really vibe well with him, and whatever he speaks, or even if he doesn't speak anything, just the presence used to be so precious, and so much spiritual energy being generated, transferred, and I was so much attracted with his teaching. So finally, like I was a music student those days, my younger days, and one day it happened that Guru spoke about the Nadayoga, which interested me a lot because initially when I said Nada, I only knew about, I could only think about music as Nada. But there is another aspect of Nadam, which is the inner sound. So I was so fascinated by this new knowledge and wanted to learn and practice more of it. And then I expressed my interest to Guru, and that's how I got his guidance. And finally, he initiated me into the path, and I got the opportunity to travel, be in the Himalayas for some times with other, masters, and practice more and experience much deeper in this meditation of Nadayoga. So when it comes to Nadayoga, basically Nada is categorized into two. One is Ahatanadam and the another is Anahatanadam. Ahatanadam is the sound that we normally hear when two objects strike each other. A sound is created, right? It is called as Ahatanadam, whereas Anahatanadam is unstruck sound. It's just there all the time. It is there. Even now it is there. But we never get to pay attention to it. We all are capable, and we all hear this sound, but without our conscious awareness. We have never paid attention. Nobody has showed us, guided us into this Anahatanada meditation. So that is the reason. So many realities that exist in this world, we are blind to all of them because we are not aware of it. Once you become aware of it, these faculties within us can open up. And it is not something miraculous or magical or mystical or anything. It is just like opening your eyes and seeing around with your eyes, and it's like hearing the sound, the Ahatanadam, how we hear when we speak. You're able to hear the sound, right? just like that, even these inner faculties are active in all of us. So how to open up, how to activate and go deeper into it is the technique all about. And last time I was also mentioning about the benefits of practicing Nadayoga. When it comes to Nadam, whether it be Ahata Nadam or Anahata Nadam, there is no one who doesn't like music, right? Everyone likes music, some form or the other. We are talking right now, we are listening to a lecture or discourse or anything, whatever happens, suddenly if some music comes, if you listen to a flute music, somebody is playing nice flute, naturally our mind gets attracted to it. And it's easy to relax and listen to music. That's one of the main reasons we all are interested to listen to music, because it helps us relax. It makes us stress free. When we are relaxed, when the body is relaxed, when the mind is relaxed, our inner faculties will be sharpened. When the mind is very agitated, restless, very active, our mind is not sharp enough to perceive all these subtler dimensions. So how do we perceive the universe, anything around us? We perceive through the 5 sense organs. We have the eyes, ears, right, nose, the tongue, the taste, the touch. These are the 5 ways of perception, and they have certain limitations. The frequency that we are able to see with our naked eyes, there's a limit to it. We don't we are not able to see a certain frequency which is beyond our perception. Same way, the audible frequency is also limited. There's a certain frequency that we are able to listen to. Anything beyond that, lesser than that or higher than that, physics says like 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz is our audible frequency. So anything lesser than that or more than that, we are not able to hear. So same way, all our 5 sense organs have certain limitations, which means we are not perceiving the universe to its fullest, in its entirety. Right? There are so many aspects that we don't see with our eyes. There are so many dimensions, there are so many sounds that we don't hear with your ears. So we are seeing a limited world. So how to explore the entire world in its totality, to understand it, is by exploring it within ourselves. When our sense organs are naturally inclined to perceive things outside of us, right? We see things outside of us, we listen to sounds outside of us. This is how we are used to. But when you withdraw the senses inwards, there is a world, the entire world is there within ourselves. And by knowing that, by experiencing that, you are able to understand the world also. It is the same. They are not different. They are one and the same. So this is the shortcut method available to all of us to turn inwards and understand the universe. That is how our rishis have understood the existence. Even before the science was able to tell many things about the space, we have so many different descriptions about the planets, about many aspects. of the space in our Puranas and our scriptures. So how they were able to understand all these without all the modern equipments is just simply by closing their eyes and knowing it from within. All the knowledge is there within us. So meditation is this turning inwards. And Nadayoga, when it comes to Nadayoga, there are so many different techniques available in yoga and in other many different traditions, spiritual paths. But the advantage of Nadayoga, it's just like listening to music. You don't need any effort to listen to music, right? You just let go and listen to it and you enjoy and you relax. So same way it is. Normally when you sit for a meditation, you need to have an object of meditation. So when there is an object of meditation, the mind finds it hard to focus on it. Mind easily gets distracted. Mind cannot stay in the present moment. It is used to going to the past or to the future. That is the habit pattern of the mind. Then it's hard again, you bring it back, focus, stay one pointed and practice the meditation. Again the mind goes, but Anahatanadam is not like that. Anahatanadam, like how you listen to music naturally, same way the mind naturally listens, help us to be focused and one pointed. So it's not focusing on one object for long duration, but whatever be the object is, you can meditate on the form of a god or the name of the god, chanting the name of the god, or you can focus on a flame, you can focus on different parts of the body, the energy centers, the chakras, right? So there are so many different methods. You can meditate on Om, the Pranavam. So many different methods are there, but why should you actually focus? Isn't that just concentration, right? So the technique, the method of meditation is when you are focused on one object, when you are able to stay one pointed attention on any object, whatever it is, for a longer duration, there is a point when even that object of meditation drops off. Then the mind doesn't have anything to hold on to and the mind dissolves, because mind needs something to hold on to, otherwise it cannot exist. So mind needs food continuously, constantly, it has to feed on something. And in meditation, we are only giving one object of focus, training the mind to do that, then it's fine, it gets used to that. The one pointed attention is gained, but finally even that object is removed and the mind has to dissolve, it cannot exist. And it's a state of no mind when that oneness is experienced within oneself, oneness with the universe. We are part of it, already we are part of it, but because of the veil of the mind and on the screen how a movie is projected, the different shades of light is projected, and we are seeing different images and we attach emotions to it. So the life is also like that, so many things happening, we are perceiving through our five sense organs, and the mind is being fed through all these five sense organs, and it keeps on surviving. So once you understand this nature of the mind and you transcend that, that is when you experience the reality without this. Once the light the projector is turned off, you just see the screen, what is real, right? You don't see the movie anymore. So this movie is right now happening because of this veil, and the meditation helps us to remove that veil through these different techniques. So one of the methods, and a very easy one to practice, is Nadayoga. From my own personal experience, even I was surprised to go to all the deeper dimensions, the subtler sounds, the nadas within myself, which the Upanishad proclaims. There is an Upanishad by the name Nada Bindu Upanishad. So Nada Bindu Upanishad is a very ancient text, a scripture. It is not one of the principal Upanishads like Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka and all, but it comes under the 108 Upanishads, which describes about the Nadayoga practice. So we'll be looking into it stage by stage, and as far as possible I will try to guide you and give more understanding and awareness about this path. It requires, I'm so glad that you all have interest in this subject, and it requires like few minutes of practice. So when I used to practice, it's not like I have done many different techniques of meditation, practice many different techniques of meditation. Some meditation techniques need hours of practice. This is not like that, because the mind gets easily focused on the nada. Nada yoga takes lesser duration of practice and to gain the faster results. You will start to experience, once you start to practice, you will start to understand what I'm talking about. And when it comes to nada, I already told you like ahata nadam and anahata nadam. So as part of ahata nadam, ahata is the external sound and anahata is the internal sound. Like kirtan, bhajan, all these come under the ahata nadam. Mantra yoga, upasana mantram, shanti mantrams, bija mantras, there are different types of mantras. This is also part of ahata nadam. You can chant loudly, you can chant mentally also, and then in the human body itself there are energy centers, there are chakras, different chakras. Each chakra have certain bija mantras. So those are all sounds, those are all nadam. When there is a vibration, when there is a vibrational frequency, there is a sound attached to it. Anything vibrates, that will create a sound also, right? So our body is also vibrating. Every single cell of our body is vibrating in certain frequencies, different frequencies. So each part will have different type of sounds, and these mantras are associated with them. So one of the very predominant and the important mantras, as you already know about it, is Om, the Pranava mantra, which they say like in the beginning, from the beginning, there is no beginning or end, it's always there. And the Om is, there's an Upanishad about Om itself, describing about the Om. And even Nadabindu Upanishad begins with the narration of Om. It starts with A, syllable A, and then U and M, the Ma syllable with the mouth closed, right? A, U, M. These are the three syllables. And they are also associated with connected with like the creation, sustenance, and dissolution also. It's a very wonderful way of looking at it. Like the word Amma, it's a continuation. A, U, M, and again it goes to A, right? So the creation, sustenance, dissolution, again creation, that cycle of birth and death is happening through the mother. So Om includes all these things. And then there are different mantras like Bija mantras. So before coming to the Bija mantras, I will just shortly describe about the 7 major chakras in our body, energy centers in our body. The Muladhara, which is at the base of the spine, Swadhisthana at the pubic region, Manipuraka at the navel region, and then Anahata at the heart, at the chest region, Vishuddhi at the throat region, and then between the eyebrows is the Ajna chakra, and at the top of the head is the crown chakra, which is called Sahasrara. These are the 7 major energy centers. There are many other chakras also, minor chakras also in the body, but these are the major energy centers in the body. And the mantras, Bija mantras associated with these chakras, Muladhara is Lam, and Swadhisthana is Vam, Manipuraka is Ram, the Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra, it is Yam, Vishuddhi is Ham, and the third is the Ajna chakra is Om, and the Sahasrara is even beyond that. It's not an uttered sound, it can be a silence. But for our perception, we can again call it Om, the ultimate, mantra, Pranava mantra. So we had been talking about it for some time. We will just little bit get into some practice. And then again we will come back to it. So gradually, step by step, we will be delving deeper into the aspects of sound and silence. So I will be chanting Om. Wherever you are, you can just sit with your eyes closed, ideally eyes closed, because through our eyes 80% of our attention goes away. When it is externally, like when it is open, when you are looking outside, 80% of the focus is lost. So the internal focus is required. That's why closing your eyes helps in meditation. Initially, that's definitely a very helpful process. And then just simply, you can also chant this Om along with me and listening to your own chanting. So we'll be chanting this Om using the 3 syllables of A, U and M. I will show you how to do this. So this is one round of Om, and then there is a pause. You are utilizing that time to take a deep breath in. There is no rush, and you don't need to follow my pace. Each one has their own, breathing capacity, lung capacity. So how much ever you can inhale, you take deep breath, and then when you chant Om, you will be breathing out, exhaling through your mouth, obviously. When you are chanting the A, U and Ma. So A is open mouth and you are exhaling through the mouth, and slowly close your mouth. fully close your lips, the humming sound comes. Make sure all these three syllables, a, u and are approximately of equal length. You don't have to be very exactly, equal length, but approximately of equal length. And you keep chanting in your own pace and just focus on the sound of Om. And after is completed, you have fully exhaled. Take your time to take a long, slow, deep breath. Full breath in. Fill your lungs with maximum air you can. And again chant the Om. This is also a pranayama breathing practice, right? And also chanting and listening to the sound of Om. It's a very beautiful meditation. It helps the mind to calm down and relax and prepare yourself for listening to the deeper inner sounds, which we never have explored in depth before. So let us begin with the Om, all of us, and close your eyes. Take 2-3 long, slow, deep breaths. There is no rush, absolutely no rush. We have ample time. Just consciously, mentally scan your whole body. Just observe your body for any stiffness or tension on any part of the body. Consciously relax your body. So observe your face region, observe your shoulders, observe your arms, your chest, your abdomen, the back portion of the body, the spine, the buttocks region, both the legs, the thighs, knees, calf muscles, the feet, the toes. If there is any stiffness or tension, take a long deep breath, and as you breathe out, just mentally say relax, and the body will begin to relax. Now we are beginning to chant Om. You can do it in your own pace. You don't have to keep pace with me. I will also be chanting. You can continue to do this until I ask you to stop. And then once you stop, you can keep count if you like. I'm going to chant for 21 times. After we finish the 21 times of Om chanting, don't immediately open your eyes. Just listen to the silence or whatever natural sounds you hear around with your eyes closed, and just continue to stay relaxed until I ask you to open your eyes. You can now take a deep breath in. There is 7 more to go. 3 more times. One more time. You can stop the chanting now and continue to remain with your eyes closed. Just become aware of your natural breathing, the natural bodily sensations, and the natural sounds that you hear around. Remain still and aware. Whenever you are ready, you can gently and slowly open your eyes. You may rub your palms against each other and gently massage your face region. This is to distribute the energy equally to all the parts of your body. You can even just move your palms through your arms, shoulders, arms, and the body also. So that was a very good meditation session. You can see the state of your mind if you have chanted and if you have been listening to the Om chanting. It's so relaxing and the mind has become so calm. It's also very good for getting good sound sleep just before going to bed in the evening. If you can practice this meditation, especially if you have a difficulty to get into sleep, even just simply listening to some Om chanting, you can play on your device or something like that. Just listen to it. It will immediately pacify the mind and helps to sleep better. So now the sound is divided into 4 types. Initially we said 2, that is very broadly classified as Ahatanadam and Anahatanadam. Now when you look into it in more detail, the sound can be classified into Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti and Para. Or in the reverse order, Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari. You might have come across these words in if you are familiar with Lalita Sahasranamam, right? These are the different frequencies of sound, you can say. So Vaikhari is the audible sound. So when I am talking, when you are able to hear, it is Vaikari. Any audible sound, Dahatanadam, that we hear, it can be named as Vaikari. It is connected to the Vishuddhi Chakra, the throat energy center, and it's also connected with our Jagrat state, which is the wakeful state. There are different states of consciousness, that, like the wakeful state, the dream state, the deep sleep state, right? Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti and Turiyam. These are the different four different states of the consciousness, and the Vaikari is associated with the Jagrat state, the wakeful state, and it is the audible sound and associated with the throat energy center, Vishuddhi Chakra. And the next subtler form of the sound is Madhyama. Madhyama is the inner sound. It is the Anahatanadam, and it is connected to the Swapna Avastha, the dream state. And then the even more subtle is Pashyanti, which is the visible sound. When the frequency of the sound is so fast, it's almost like light. So these are all like depending on the vibrational frequency, the energy takes different forms. We can perceive it as light, we can perceive it as sound based on what type of frequency we are perceiving. And the Pashyanti, or the visible, is associated with the Manipuraka Chakra, the navel center. Madhyama, I don't know if I mentioned this, Anahata Chakra, heart center. And the Pashyanti is the Manipuraka Chakra, is much deeper, right? And it is associated with Sushupti state. Sushupti is deep sleep. We are not consciously aware of what is happening around us when we are in deep sleep. In the Western terminology, they call it alpha, beta, gamma, and all. And finally, the subtlest one is para. Para is silence, and it is associated with the Muladhara Chakra, the basic chakra, and it is also associated with the Turiya state. Turiya state is even subtler and deeper than the Sushupti state of the consciousness. In Sushupti, we are actually not aware, whereas in Turiya, we are aware. Not aware in the sense like in the wakeful state, but with your eyes closed in a deep samadhi state, in a deep meditative state, you are still aware of whatever is happening around. So since I am from Kerala, I would like to mention about a great spiritual master by the name Narayana Guru, who has mentioned about this para. It's a very beautiful poem. It says, Parayuda Pal Nugarna Bhagyavan Marke Ara Nutand or Alpanera, which means a half century of time will pass like a second, like a moment, if you have experienced the bliss of the sound of para. So how the Vaikari, when we listen to music, what we are hearing is Vaikari sound, right? It's the audible sound. Even that is so blissful, so enjoyable, it's giving us so much happiness, relaxation. Then we can't imagine what this silence of para can give, the para sound, right? And that requires some training. The mind needs to be trained. You need to practice, like how we very patiently practice the Om chanting and listening to the Pranava mantra. Same way, listening to the inner sounds. So practicing pranava mantra, chanting and listening to it was kind of a preparation. Even any ahatanadam, any like kirtans, bhajans, everything can help you. Like in temples and all, especially in the North Indian temples, I have seen during South India has a different type of sounds associated with the temples during the Deeparadhana time and all, right? In the dawn and dusk, when they do after the puja and all, when the shrine is open for the public, so many nice musical instruments we have employed. So the sounds that I heard in many of the North Indian temples, they're very close, very similar to the inner sounds that we hear in the Anahata meditation. It was really surprising for me how they have externally devised all these things so people get used to all these. Those who have experienced and known have definitely devised these things into our rituals, and these are all techniques of meditation, right? When what happens when you go to a temple, like the ambience is created and externally it is being induced. So if you are in tune with that, it can happen within us also, like how it is happening outside. In fact, there is no outside and inside, they are not separate, but that is as long as the mind exists, the duality is there, external and internal is there. And this entire journey is about transcending that duality, transcending that mind. Transcending in the sense not being identified with it, not being one with it. Right? You can be a witness to your own mind, to your own body, which we are using. They are all our tools for the consciousness to exist and experience here in this world, and just see them as it is. Don't get so much identified with them, right? So that is what meditation helps us achieve. So we mentioned about the 4 types of sounds, from the grosser to the subtler. The path of meditation is from the gross to the subtle. That is why, the path of yoga. So yoga and Vedanta, these are 2 different paths we have practiced in our culture. So Vedanta is the scriptural, the theoretical understanding of all these things, and in the path of yoga, the same thing, you experience it by practice. And we start with Hatha Yoga, the asanas, right? The physical postures from the grosser level, and then you move on to pranayama, which is even subtler, from gross to the subtle, and then from pranayama to the meditation and to the samadhi states. The 8 limbs of yoga are there, right? Up till samadhi, starting from asanas. So this path from the gross to the subtle is the path of meditation, any meditation for that matter. And we have chosen our object of meditation as anahatanadam for our practice and learning. And we can give it a fair trial, and you can experience and go to deeper levels and even to a dissolution of the mind within 21 days if you are consistent, persistent in your practice. I am sharing this with you from my own personal experience. I was really surprised, I told you in the beginning, that it could happen to me, So I recommend all of you, since you have gotten this opportunity, we all have gotten this opportunity to share and understand this beautiful technique. You should definitely make use of it and benefit out of it. That is my wish. Now we have done today's plan is we have done the Om chanting meditation. We will do a little bit of Anuloma Viloma Pranayama. You might be already familiar with the alternate nostril breathing. These are all like plowing the field before you plant the seed and allow it to sprout. We have to prepare ourselves, prepare the mind. It needs to be ready to receive and experience these deeper realities within us. So Anuloma Viloma Pranayama, it's also known as Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, helps to direct our energy to traverse through the central Nadi called Sushumna. So we have three principal Nadis. Nadis are energy tubes, energy channels in our body. You cannot, in a laboratory, if you dissect your body, you cannot see these Nadis. 72,000 Nadis they talk about. These are all energy channels. If you are a clairvoyant, you can see with your naked eyes the energy passing. Otherwise, not with the naked eyes. Corresponding to the spinal cord, there is a Nadi by the name Sushumna. When you come to yoga, you will learn about all these things. Okay, there was a message. So I am coming to the technique that we practiced last time. So before that, we will do this Anuloma Viloma Pranayama for a few minutes, and also Brahmari Pranayama. Brahmari Pranayama is the humming sound. You create the humming sound with a certain mudra. We call it Shanmukhi Mudra. Using the Shanmukhi Mudra by closing our ears and the front portion of the face, we will be humming the sound. So we will start with Anuloma Viloma Pranayama. So it's so simple. Close your right nostril and breathe in through your left nostril. Take a deep breath in. Close your left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril. Exhale. Inhale and exhale slowly and deeply. There is no rush to do this. And then breathe in through the right and breathe out through the left. Just alternate like this. Inhale through the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Just remember to inhale through the same nostril as you exhaled. Just to keep track. Just to make sure you are doing it correctly. Always inhale through the same nostril as you exhale. Which means if you breathe out through your right nostril, breathe in through the right nostril also. Then you breathe out through your left nostril and again breathe in through the left nostril. Continue to do this, focusing on your breathing for a couple of minutes. You can have your eyes closed, and if your nostrils are not balanced, if one of your nostrils is partially blocked, don't worry about it. Very smoothly, very slowly, you can breathe in and out. When you are breathing with the opposite nostril closed, try not to make any sound of your breathing, like that kind of sound should not come. Very smoothly, very slowly, like this. Long, deep breaths. You can finish this pranayama with your next exhalation through the left nostril. So this left nostril and the right nostril are connected with the two nadis on either sides of the Sushumna Nadi. Sushumna is the central Nadi corresponding to the spinal cord, and on either side, on the left and the right, there are two Nadis, Ida and Pingala, in helix shape. One is heat and one is cold. So when we do this, when we practice this alternate nostril breathing, the energy is balanced, and there is a dormant energy, we call it Kundalini, right? Which we make use of it on a day-to-day basis for all the activities. It's like a small battery within ourselves, which can be charged on a daily basis by the practice of meditation, yoga, and all, pranayama and all. So the energy, if it is traversing through the Ida or Pingala more, that means our mind is lopsided. It's not balanced. When the energy traverses through the central nadi, the mind is balanced, the mind is equanimous. It doesn't react to situations. It is very, very calm and peaceful at any challenging situation, So that type of mind, but just by practice of Anuloma Viloma Pranayama, you can see the results like very quickly. By daily practice, the mind get used to that kind of pattern to be stable and, equanimous. So now we have done the Anuloma Viloma Pranayama. Let us also move on to the Brahmari Pranayama so that you also learn the Shanmukhi Mudra, which we are going to use for the practice of Anahatanada meditation. So the Shanmukhi Mudra is like this. With the thumbs, you will be pressing the muscle, the earlobes. Don't press inside the ears, it's from the outside. Both the ears you will be plucking with the thumbs, and these four fingers you will be placing on your face like this. Just gently place them. You don't have to press hard. But the ears you will be plugging slightly harder. And then we will do the humming sound with the mudra. We will do this 7 times. Okay, you can count for yourself. You can gently open your eyes. You can remove the mudra, release the mudra, and gently open your eyes. You can already see how rejuvenating this experience is. And now let's practice the actual technique of, I'll introduce the actual technique of Anahatanada meditation. So like how we did the Brahmari Pranayama, we will use the same mudra. We'll be closing the earlobes with the thumbs and placing the fingers, 4 fingers on the front portion of your face. Gently, closing your eyes. And then you have to listen to whatever sounds you hear around. Not here around, here within yourself. Sorry. So you might be hearing, like because you are pressing here, the pressing sound might be heard. Whatever sound, doesn't matter. Whatever sound you are naturally hearing, just pay attention to that and try to meditate for few minutes. And then after that I will tell you how to proceed further in this technique of practice. Let's do just a couple of minutes, okay? Close your eyes and use the Shanmukhi Mudra and just listen to the inner sound. You can slowly release the Mudra and open your eyes. And gently come out of the meditation. So when you practice like this, when you listen to the inner sound with your ears plugged like this, initially it might be hard, your hands might hurt. So you can support your hands somewhere and just close your eyes, and just plug in the ears like this. And whatever sound you hear, you might hear different types of sounds. The Nadabindu Upanishad talks about sounds, the 12 types of sounds you will hear. They are named as Ghoshini, Vidyut, Patangini, Vayuvegini, Namadheya, Aindri, Vaishnavi, Shankari, Mahati, Dhriti, Nari and Brahmi. These are the 12 types of sounds. So in English, if you translate those sounds of the ocean waves, clouds, thunder, waterfall, tabard, big bell, military drum, twinkling bell, flute and wasp, these types of sounds will be heard as you go deeper and deeper into the practice. It might take some time. So daily 10 to 15 minutes, if you can, the best time, when you are least disturbed, whatever is good for you, maybe in the early morning, before even people are up, keep all your devices into silence and practice for 10 to 15 minutes. You can see the progress in a few weeks time. You will start to explore, then you will be more interested. I don't know what sounds you heard today in the beginning stages. It could be like a cricket sound, like when you go to silent places, maybe inside a cave, into a forest, etc. You will hear some sounds, right? Those types of sounds will come initially, but as you keep meditating, focusing more and more, the deeper sounds will start to emerge. And when a new sound emerges, you switch your attention to the new sound. That's how the technique works. So you might be hearing a gross sound initially, and then you might hear a subtler sound wave in the background somewhere, very, very subtle sound. Switch your attention to that sound. Then that sound will become louder and louder. This sound will slowly diminish, and then meditate on that sound. It's so interesting. You can be, meditation will naturally happen. It's so rejuvenating also. You feel very fresh after this meditation practice. So what I will do is so the Upanishad promises, like the practice of this, even like I told you, in 21 days you can experience all these different subtle dimensions if you can really spare time for this. So Upanishads doesn't have to tell any lies. It always speaks the truth. So we can trust that and just. But we have to do it for ourselves, right? It's not just by knowing about it. It's not going to help. Only by our own practice, we can be benefited out of it. Uh, so my plan for all of you is, so these 2 months we are just meeting once a month. The next month again, the first week we'll just meet. This just it creates some curiosity in you, and you can explore by yourself a little bit, read more about it, try to listen and understand and practice. That is more important. Practice and theory should go hand in hand. What you are practicing, you should know why you are practicing that, and what you are experiencing, everything. The intellectual understanding also is required, but just the intellectual understanding is very dry. That's not enough. You need the meditative experience within yourself by your own practice. So take both together, and for 1 month don't. It's not just about one day listening for a couple of hours and then forget about it. It's not going to help us. So be in touch with it. Think about it, and be eager to be back again next month. And once these 2 months are over, the holidays are over, probably from next year we can try to meet more often and study the Upanishad stage by stage, more in detail, the Nadayoga Upanishad, the original text, the Sanskrit text, and we can follow the guidance and practice also. We'll take both practice and theory together. So that's all from my side for today. If you have any questions, I'm available for another 10 minutes.
Anyone has any question, we can take turns asking.
Yeah, Pramod sir is raising hand.
Yeah, my question is that can we do Nada Yoga while sleeping, while lying down? The reason is that our neck may get stiff when we are sitting continuously for 10 minutes and putting our hand like that. The neck gets stiff. But once we are lying down, we are more comfortable and we are more relaxed. Before sleep, we can practice this.
Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, when I used to practice, I have faced these difficulties. My hands used to hurt, and so one thing is your spine need to be erect vertically up when you meditate. When you are horizontally lying down, the possibility of sleeping off is more. You can try, it might give some success, but it's not the ideal situation. You can try it for yourself. There is nothing wrong in trying it out. But what you can do is, I used to rest my elbows on my knees. I just sit like, you have seen the three monkeys picture, right? With the ears, eyes, mouth closed. I used to sit like that and rest my elbows on my knees so that they are rested. And you can even lean onto a wall, your back supported by the wall, or back side of a chair. So that way might be more helpful, I guess.
No, I mean, I understand your point that we may just go to sleep, but if we are on a flat surface like a yoga mat, and we doing this practice, and then the spine is also straight without pillow, we can practice this more easily than sitting position.
So there are certain dimensions of the energy movement involved corresponding to your spinal cord, from the base of the spine to the top of the head. When you are listening to the subtler sounds, actually there is an energy movement happening, which is ideally happening in a sitting position.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would have seen a lot of people doing this lying down meditation. It has not worked. Any yogi, any rishi, we see all of them sit and meditate. So the technique what taught to us is like that. So for some time, but because we are experimenting with this, for some time you can try it out and see how it works for you. There is no harm in it, but you may not get the full benefit out of it. That's all what I think about it.
So can we sit up straight on a sofa, on a couch?
That is okay. That's okay. Yeah, that is
Okay.
that is even better. You can lean on to wall. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Banu ma'am, you're muted. You have to unmute.
Okay. Hi. Thank you very much. Beautiful it was. I want to know the timing of the thing. Now, when we do the Om that we did about 21 ohms, how much approximately the time takes for that?
It depends on how it depends on your breathing capacity and how long you are able to chant. Right? It can vary from person to person. So initially, if your mind is already calm and relaxed and ready, you might not even need the chanting of Om. You can directly go into the Anahata meditation. Those are all preparation for the meditation. Little bit of asana, little bit of pranayama, little bit of chanting. All these things can make our mind ready to listen to the subtler inner sounds.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Nalini ma'am, your question. You are also muted. You have to unmute. I am calling you by the name I see on the,
Yeah.
window.
I have one question. That is, if both the ears are not receiving at the same sound, maybe due to some physical problem, then when you do the Brahmari, the sound you are hearing, can you connect it with whatever sounds you have told?
Yeah,
If there is any physical problem.
focus on your right ear.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what the Upanishad also advocates when you practice Anahatanada meditation.
Okay. Thank you. It was so nice to
Thank
you.
hear. All these things are new to us, but it is very nice.
I've got one question. Which Upanishad?
Nada Bindu Upanishad.
Nada Bindu.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Nada Bindu.
I have a question. Means I think when we close the ears and the ocean like sound is there, maybe our blood circulation through the veins, maybe that sound it is.
So it can be anything. It can be the blood circulation, it can be your breathing sound. We don't have to interpret it in any way. We don't have to even think about what sound it is, where it is coming from, or which chakra it is associated with. Nothing. You just need to meditate on that sound, whatever it is.
And the meditation should be in the sitting position, means for the Mula chakra to be on the ground, like that is why.
Correct, yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
In your last class, I realized, I think you had put a sound in the background. Was it a sound of an instrument?
Yes, that was like I told you about the temple bell sounds and all, right? How they are doing. Same way, like these days they have like something called sound healing, sound bath or something like that in yoga studios and all. They do this a lot. So natural acoustic sounds, acoustic instruments, not electric instruments. They play like bowls, crystal bowls, gongs, Tibetan, bells. All those sounds help us to take the mind to a very deep meditative states.
So do you suggest that when we do this meditation, we should have a recording of some acoustic instrument playing in the background?
When you practice the meditation, no, but that can help you to relax the mind. Like I asked you to chant Om for that purpose, how I asked you to do the pranayama. Same way, listening to the sound healing or sound bath can help the mind to come to a calm state, so
Right.
that it is ready, it's prepared to listen to the subtler sounds.
Right, because I thought that was a great idea, because when you are totally quiet and your eyes are closed, for a beginner in a meditation, your mind wanders here and there. And when I close my eyes right now, I cannot hear anything happening, what is happening around the room. So unless I'm sitting on a beach, and then I can listen to the ocean. But so if there is a background sound, do you have any recordings of sounds which you help us?
Yeah, there are some recordings from our own sound healing sessions. I can share some of them
Yeah,
with you all.
if you can share some of those sounds, that I was very helpful.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
But during the anahata meditation, it's better to have it, silent atmosphere.
Right, when you're doing the Brahmani or the
Correct.
Mantra,
Anahata nada meditation, yes.